there is one thing I can say about Borderlands 2, it's that Lilith was fucking hot!
Damn.
But luckily I can say more than one thing about it. I mean, just look at the length of this video. What'd you think I was going to be bitching about this entire time? The weapon system? Fuck you! Anyways, this game is filled with Easter eggs. You'll find references to Minecraft, Lord of the Rings, fucking Dark Souls? Yeah, the bonfire from Dark Souls! Like I said, there was a lot. You can say they went a bit over the top with them, but I thought they were pretty enjoyable. But that's not what you came here for, was it? There's a theory that opens up a lot of question and skepticism about the man we all call Handsome Jack, and who or what he really is. After versing and defeating the warrior, you have an opportunity to either kill Handsome Jack yourself, or leave the job to Lilith. If you kill him, the game's over. Nothing happens. However, if you manage to sit through Jack's painfully boring monologue, Lilith eventually has enough of it and kills him herself. When this happens, Handsome Jack's mask flies off, revealing his actual face that was never seen in the game until now. This is what people saw. That's pretty fucked up if you ask me. The most common theory I've probably seen on forums and such is that Handsome Jack was happily married with a wife and a daughter, presumably Angel. Angel couldn't control her powers and was too young to know what being a siren actually meant on Pandora. Now, it's extremely important that in the game, it doesn't say Jack's wife died, but rather disappeared. The theory being Angel was taken away from her mother because of something she did to her, and in an effort to restrain her, Jack was given the scar of uncanny resemblance to the vault symbol. While there is canon evidence in the game to back this up, there is minimal chance that this is the whole theory. It's vague, and it leaves the mystery surrounding Jack's past before Hyperion wide open to discovery. If you go to the bounty board in Firestone near the end of the game, you will be granted the option of a few side missions. The one we focus on today being Get to Know Jack. This quest alone, while still purposefully opaque, is canon to the story and can be labeled as truth, not just theory. Upon taking the quest, you are tasked with finding 5 journal logs that go not in depth enough to set a perfectly flawless theory in stone, but just in depth enough to make you think for yourself and start to draw your own theories about Jack's past. Who he is, his life before Hyperion, etc.
I don't understand, Daddy.
Say hello to your new home, darling. You're like a little princess. And this is your throne.
I want Mommy. Where's Mommy?
She's not coming back, Angel. Now get in a freaking chair.
I don't want to.
It's all good. There we go, in the chair.
In this audio log, Handsome Jack offers crucial information about his family, but we can't exactly say for sure his wife is deceased yet. Once again, the journal log is purposefully vague, but it's safe to say that after this unnamed incident, either her mother no longer felt safe around Angel and requested immediate separation, or Handsome Jack, discovering Angel's power, decides to run off with her himself in an effort to use her power to find the vault. Both theories so far are of equal possibility.
Okay, any candidates today, Angel?
There are 4 treasure hunters who arrived on a shuttle several hours ago. They are currently on a bus to Firestone.
Great. Say this to them. Don't be alarmed. I need you to stay calm and don't let on that anyone is talking to you. Start making your way off the bus.
The bus is still moving, sir.
Shut up. Tell them.
John, why have you dispatched one of our satellites to Pandora? What are you doing?
Sir, the energy readings my instruments at home are getting from Pandora are...
Get out of there at once, you hideous little code monkey, and shut off that satellite.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Tassiter. It won't happen again, sir.
From what we can assume, this is the earliest reference to the Vault Hunters in the timeline of the game. They aren't referred to as vault hunters, but treasure hunters, leading anyone to believe that the vault hunters weren't really a thing yet when the first journal log was being recorded. In his conversation with a higher Hyperion officer, Mr. Tacitor, it's evident that he was working for Hyperion at this time, but not yet the president of the company, leaving the process of how he got there shrouded for now.
Sir? We've lost at least a dozen staff to the Angel's malfunctions. We need to shut her down. Your wife suggested as much before her disappear-
Jimmy, please make a note. I'm strangling Mr. Morin for bringing up my wife.
Choked? Mr. Morin?
No, Jimmy. Choking is something you do when you eat too fast. As I'm crushing Mr. Morin's windpipe with my watch chain, what I'm doing is actually referred to as strangling.
Please.
There we go. Anything else on today's agenda, Jimmy?
It's Jeffrey, sir. And no.
Thanks, Jimmy. Well then, drinks are on Handsome Jack.
Shining a bit more light on the disappearance of his wife, Jack loses his temper after Mr. Morin confronts him about his daughter's malfunctions being the leading factor in over a dozen casualties to Hyperion staff. It's at this point where the theory of Jack taking Angel away from her mother to take advantage of her power proves to be a bust, as the audio log suggests that Angel's mother also wanted to shut her down before anyone else had a chance to experience another malfunction. Forgetting the name of Jeffrey and replacing it with Jimmy, which is similar to what Mr. Tacitor did to Jack in the previous autolog, suggests that Jack has risen to a bit higher position in the Hyperion company at this time.
Why isn't this working, Angel?
I don't...
I've pumped every freaking ounce of iridium I've got into you, but the stupid key isn't working. Why?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
You're a siren. You're one of a kind. Now make it work. I want that freaking warrior, Angel. I want him awake, okay? I want him under my control now. I want him now. Not later, now!
Okay, now this is where the theory, in my opinion, starts to get pretty interesting. Being aware that there are 6 sirens on Pandora, as referred early on in the game, Jack still doesn't hesitate to label Angel as one of a kind. Now, this opens up a lot of questions about Angel's power, as well as her own past, unraveling the path to an entirely new backstory in Pandora's universe. Not enough evidence or canon information to further explore this path, but Jack's abuse of Iridium power and his attitude towards Angel as though she were one of a kind are enough for us to see that Angel is a bit different than the others.
Now, Mr. Tacitor, blackmail. Such a dirty little word, isn't it? Actually, no, I come to think of it, it's not a dirty word at all. It's kind of awesome. Blackmail. Say it with me. Back.
Oh, go to hell, John. Just because you got lucky with your Pandora hunch doesn't mean...
Because I was right, is what you mean. And call me Jack, idiot.
You may have been able to scare the other directors into giving up their shares, but I know you. I know that beneath that ridiculous mask, you're still a hideous, pathetic little nobody.
Mr. Tacitor, maybe you can settle up something for me. Do you know the difference between choking and strangulation?
Though prevalent in all 5 audio logs, this is where Jack's insanity seems to reach an undeniable apex. It sounds to me like Jack was responsible for piecing the clues together and finding the whereabouts of the vault on Pandora. Mr. Tacitor was wrongfully accredited because of his higher position, which is why Jack hints around at blackmailing him and taking away his glory by proving that he was the one to find the vault. The most important thing about this dialogue is that Tacitor makes a reference to his mask and his being part of a nobody, making it obvious that he has worn the mask and presumably the scar for a long time. My theory is this. Mr. Tacitor's reference to Jack being a nobody could be an indication that before he worked for Hyperion, possibly even before he was married, he was a bandit just like the rest, Wanting to find the vault, thinking it would be filled with gold and riches and glory, he was wrong. Finding a vault guardian, he was scarred and branded with the vault symbol on his face as eternal consequence for his curiosity and his greed. After donning the mask, he wanted to forget his life as a bandit and settle down with a family, his wife and Angel. It's important to note here that sirens have the power to transport objects and even humans, such as what Lilith did with the city of Sanctuary. Angel may have done the exact same thing to her mother, transporting her to a place unknown to the rest of us, leaving a saddened and clueless daughter and a painfully grieving and angered Handsome Jack. As you can well assume, after these events took place, Jack went completely fucking nutterbutter. He became hell-bent on discovering the vault, even going as far as to take advantage of his own daughter and strangle his supervisor when he was wrongfully accredited for the doing, placing him in the perfect position to be the new president of Hyperion. All just to get inside the vault and awaken whatever ancient alien life was in it. It's almost as though he had some sort of personal vendetta against the Iridians for branding him in his youth, and discovering the vault and waking the warrior was his ultimate payback. Once again, I'm Bruce Molboxer of the Molboxers. Thank you for joining me in unraveling the mysteries in this episode of The Darker Side of the Disc.